Aldi's aisles of anguish. 15 items to avoid. Now, I love a bargain as much as the next person, but sometimes, darlings, a deal is too good to be true. And let's be honest, Aldi is the land of tempting prices. But before you fill your trolley with every bargain in sight, take a breath and listen up. We're about to delve into the depths of Aldi's shelves to reveal 15 products you should probably, maybe, definitely leave on the shelf. So grab your shopping list, pour yourself a cuppa, and get ready to uncover the truth behind these Aldi items that might just leave you saying, I'd rather pay full price. Salty like a sailor. Aldi's specially selected Scotch beef. Oh dear. Now, who doesn't love a good sandwich with a hearty helping of salt beef? It's a classic for a reason. But darlings, let me tell you, Aldi's specially selected Scotch salt beef has caused quite a stir, and not in a good way. Word on the street is, it's saltier than the ocean after a mermaid's cry, and tougher than a week-old baguette. Imagine trying to bite through that in a sandwich. Some shoppers have even compared it to chewing on a leather boot. So, unless you're particularly fond of a side of salt lick with your lunch, I'd steer clear of this one. Chicken run. Away from this one. Next up, we're talking poultry, specifically Aldi's Ashfield's British chicken breast fillets. Whispers from the checkout line suggest that these fillets have a texture that's more rubbery chicken than succulent supper. And the culprit? Apparently some sneaky additives like salt and water pumped in to bulk up the weight. So unless you're training for a chicken chewing competition, I'd suggest opting for a different bird. Mashy, smashy. Oh, it's a disaster! Now, who doesn't love a comforting bowl of mashed potatoes? It's the ultimate side dish, perfect with everything from roast chicken to a cheeky fish finger sandwich. But hold the gravy, because Aldi's inspired cuisine mashed potatoes have been known to cause a bit of a stir. Instead of a fluffy cloud of deliciousness, you're met with a grainy, glue-like texture that's about as appealing as wallpaper paste. So if you're looking for a side dish that won't leave you feeling like you've swallowed a mouthful of sand, you might want to skip this one. Chapter 4, Bagged and Sad Aldi's Produce Predicament. Now, we all know that fresh produce is essential for a healthy diet, but sometimes convenience calls, right? And that's where Aldi's bagged produce comes in. Word on the street is that these pre-packaged fruits and veggies have a tendency to go bad faster than their loose counterparts. It's like they've got a one-way ticket to Spoilsville, and nobody wants to open their fridge to find a bag of soggy lettuce or a colony of mold growing on their strawberries. So unless you're planning on channeling your inner culinary wizard and whipping up a feast the moment you leave the store, I'd recommend sticking to the loose produce. Chapter 5, Butter Up or Butter Beware, the Cowles Conundrum. Let's be honest, darlings, butter makes everything better. But when it comes to Cowles' British unsalted butter, it seems that consistency is not their strong suit. One minute you're spreading it on your toast with ease, the next, it's like trying to chisel through a block of marble. So, if you're looking for a butter that won't leave you questioning your life choices, you might want to consider exploring other options. Chapter 6, Soggy Bottom Blues, the Millville Raisin Brand Fiasco. Now, who doesn't love a bowl of cereal to start the day? It's a classic for a reason. But when it comes to Aldi's Millville Raisin brand, it seems that soggy bottom blues are a common occurrence. Imagine this. You pour yourself a bowl, add your milk, and eagerly grab a spoon. But as you take a bite, you're met with a mouthful of mushy, flavorless flakes. The raisins, well, they've surrendered to the milk and turned into sad, soggy little lumps. So, unless you're a fan of cereal that resembles baby food, I'd steer clear of this one. Chapter 7, Zorks and the Case of the Missing Cola Flavor. We all know that a good cola can hit the spot, especially on a warm day. But when it comes to Viv Zorks cola, it seems that something is missing. And that something, my friends, is the taste of actual cola. Imagine this. You crack open a can, take a sip, and expect that familiar burst of cola flavor. But instead, you're met with a strange, slightly chemical taste that's reminiscent of, well, let's just say it's not quite the real deal. Chapter 8, Smoked Salmon or Swimming in Tears, the Fishmonger's Folly. Smoked salmon, darlings, it's a delicacy, perfect for a fancy brunch or a sophisticated snack. But when it comes to the Fishmonger smoked salmon slices from Aldi, it seems that quality control might have gone on holiday. One minute you're enjoying a perfectly respectable slice of salmon, the next you're picking up what feels like translucent ham. So unless you're feeling lucky or desperate, I'd recommend sourcing your smoked salmon from a more reliable source. Chapter 9. Alf Rich Roast Instant Coffee. More like instant regret. Let's be honest, darlings, we all need a little pick-me-up in the morning. But when it comes to Alf Rich Roast Instant Coffee, it seems that instant regret might be a more accurate description. Imagine this. You stumble to the kitchen, desperate for a caffeine fix, and spoon some of this instant coffee into your mug. But as you take that first sip, you're met with a bitter, burnt taste that's about as appealing as licking an ashtray. So unless you're a fan of coffee that tastes like it was brewed using yesterday's cigarette butts, I'd recommend investing in a more palatable option. Now, a good dip can elevate any snack from ordinary to extraordinary. But when it comes to Snack Right sour cream and chive dip, it seems that debacle might be a more fitting word than dip. Imagine this. You're hosting a gathering and you proudly set out a bowl of this dip alongside an array of tempting crudités. But as your guests dip their carrots and celery sticks, they're met with a runny, watery concoction that's about as appealing as swamp water. So unless you're a fan of dips that resemble salad dressing gone wrong, I'd recommend steering clear of this one. A warm bowl of soup can be incredibly comforting, especially on a chilly evening. But when it comes to Bramwell's vegetable soup, it seems that comfort might be a bit of a stretch. Imagine this. You're feeling under the weather, so you heat up a can of this soup, hoping for a nourishing and flavorful meal. But as you take that first spoonful, you're met with a salty assault that's enough to make you thirstier than you were before. So unless you're looking for a soup that's higher in sodium than the Dead Sea, I'd recommend opting for a more flavorful and nutritious option. A fresh, chewy bagel is a thing of beauty, but when it comes to Village Bakery original bagels from ALDI, it seems that beauty might be in the eye of the beholder. Imagine this. You're craving a delicious bagel with your morning coffee, so you toast one up, slather it with cream cheese, and take a bite. But instead of that satisfying chew, you're met with a dense, dry mouthful that's about as appealing as chewing on a mouthful of cardboard. So, unless you're a fan of bagels that double as hockey pucks, I'd recommend sourcing your bread products from a more reliable bakery. Chapter 13. Cheese or Plastic? The Emporium Original Cheese Slice Mystery. A good cheese slice can make or break a sandwich. But when it comes to Emporium Original Cheese Slices from ALDI, it seems that break might be the operative word. Imagine this. You're assembling a delicious sandwich, layer upon layer of your favorite fillings, and you reach for a slice of this cheese. But as you unwrap it, you're met with a rubbery, plasticky square that's about as appealing as a melted shower curtain. Chapter 14. Ketchup or Sugar Bomb? The Bramwell's Tomato Ketchup Conundrum. Ketchup, darlings. It's the condiment king. But when it comes to Bramwell's tomato ketchup, it seems that the king might have a bit of a sweet tooth. Imagine this. You're enjoying a plate of fries and you reach for a dollop of this ketchup, but as you take a bite, you're met with a wave of sweetness that's enough to make your teeth ache. So unless you're a fan of ketchup that doubles as dessert, I'd recommend sticking to a brand that understands the importance of a balanced flavor profile. Chapter 15. Fat-free and flavor-free. The Bramwell's vinaigrette dressing dilemma. We all know that salads can be a bit, well, boring, so a good dressing is essential to liven things up. But when it comes to Bramwell's fat-free vinaigrette dressing, it seems that flavor-free might be a more accurate description. Imagine this. You've assembled a beautiful salad, a rainbow of fresh vegetables and leafy greens, and you drizzle it with this dressing. But as you take a bite, you're met with a bland, watery taste that's about as exciting as a glass of tap water. Outro: shop smart, shop savvy. And just like that, you're armed with the inside scoop on what to skip next time you're at ALDI. Those seemingly too good to be true deals can sometimes lead to bigger headaches you didn't see coming. It's all about knowing where quality counts and when a bargain is just too good to be true. Because no matter the price tag, what's important is getting the best value for your hard-earned money, right? With a little insider knowledge we've laid out for you today, shopping smarter just got a whole lot easier. So go forth, armed with this newfound knowledge, and conquer those ALDI aisles with confidence.